Nuclear fusion overview of fusion. Nuclear fusion is becoming the world's most popular source of energy creation and is predicted to solve the energy crisis for Earth. It was discovered that in the 1930s, scientists, particularly Hans Bethe, found that fusion had been powering the Sun and stars since their formation. Nuclear fusion is the process in which two lighter nuclei, typically isotopes of hydrogen, combine together under conditions of extreme pressure and temperature to form a heavier nucleus. It is also said that a fusion reactor can be found deep in the Sun's interior and produces in one heartbeat the energy of 100 billion nuclear bombs. After this discovery, beginning in the 1940s, researchers began to look for methods to use and control fusion reactions in the hopes of creating practical energy to power Earth. It is only after years of research and data collection that scientists can now feel confident that they understand how and under what conditions two nuclei can fuse together. This educational text will cover the basic definition and explanation of what fusion is, the role it plays in astronomy, and the current state of affairs in terms of fusion on Earth. If we invest the time and research into nuclear energy sources, then scientists and researchers can not only create more energy, but prevent the entire world from several types of future environmental emergencies. Chapter 1 Overview of the role of nuclear fusion in astronomy. The fusion of hydrogen into helium in the Sun and other stars occurs in three stages. First, two ordinary hydrogen nuclei fuse to form an isotope of hydrogen called deuterium, 1H2, which contains one proton and one neutron. A positron and a neutrino nu are also produced. Copyright Mind the Graph. Published 2016. Filled circle. The positron is very quickly annihilated in the collision with an electron, and the neutrino travels right out of the Sun. E1 1H plus 1H right pointing arrow 2H plus E plus plus new filled circle. Once created, the deuterium fuses with yet another hydrogen nucleus to produce 3He, an isotope of. At the same time, a high-energy photon, or gamma ray, is produced. The 4He reaction is E2 2H plus 1H right pointing arrow 3He plus gamma filled circle. The final step in the reaction chain, which is called the proton-proton cycle, takes place when a second nucleus, created in the same way as the first, collides and fuses with 3 Haunother, forming in 2 protons. In symbols, 3He 4He E3 3He plus 3He right pointing arrow 4He plus 21H filled circle. The net result of the proton-proton cycle is that 4 hydrogen nuclei combine to create 1 helium nucleus. The mass of the end product is 0.0475 times 10⁻27 kilograms less than the combined mass of the nuclei. 3He Chapter 2. The current state of affairs in terms of fusion on Earth. This part must be up to date. The current state of affairs of nuclear fusion on Earth is centered around invention and development of nuclear fusion for new energy sources on Earth. There are many who predict that our previous methods of creating energy will soon either be reduced severely due to resource depletion or too costly to maintain. The resource and environmental crises have created many new government and private funds that will need to be used to reduce costs caused by resource depletion and destruction and ensure that all locations that need power can have it. This new concern with scientific methods has excited many scientists and researchers to create new development proposals and perfect any existing methods of energy creation. The advancement of nuclear technology is allowing more research into thermal hydraulics, which is a key discipline essential for design and safety demands. The current process for nuclear fusion is to create energy in a reactor with 1 in every 5,000 hydrogen atoms in the oceans making deuterium, and the price paid is about $13 per gram. AASS Copyright 2018-2023 Vector Mind SIA, Registration Number 40,103,678,931. Latvia, Baltic states, EU. However, there are those who do not believe nuclear fusion alone is a new energy source and instead are starting research for using tritium fuel that can release high energy neutrons that can split lithium into helium and tritium if the reactor wall is lined with the metal. The recent news on alternatives for nuclear fusion includes rare tritium, and new processes as complicated as thermal hydraulics. It was discovered in 2020 that new fusion alternative did not involve ordinary hydrogen but its rare radioactive isotope tritium, in which two neutrons and a proton cling together in the nucleus. The price of tritium was found to be $30,000 per gram, but fusion researchers believe the price to be worth the cost. When the tritium was combined at high temperatures with deuterium, the two gases burned like the sun. Even though fusion scientists have yet to discover an efficient methods to sparking the tritium with deuterium, these new methods could a more effective way to produce nuclear energy. In May, engineers began to assemble ITER's reactor vessel. The first tritium burns are scheduled for 2035. Copyright ITER organization. There are also other alternative methods becoming popular in creating energy through nuclear fusion such as thermal hydraulics. In nuclear fusion technology, thermal hydraulics is required for the design and analysis of cooling and ancillary systems. Figure 1. Cylindrical core with a fuel rod located at RF distance from the center line. Published in 2013. Copyright at Thermal Hydraulics in Nuclear Systems H. Englert. Thus, the analyses involve different fluids such as water and liquid metals which go through changing due the conditions from cryogenic to high temperatures, from vacuum to high pressures, causing potential issues with material compatibility. There are also concerns that there may not be enough tritium to jumpstart the first group of power plants.